curse of the Balnica. The ballroom stood on the outskirts of the city, among thickets of wild vegetation. She was known for her strange and mysterious incidents that happened to patients and staff. Most people avoided this place, but some still dared to get inside to find out the truth about his curse. One day, a group of friends decided to go to an abandoned ballroom. They were sure that they would find answers to their questions and solve the mysteries of this place. In the evening, when it was already dark outside, they approached the entrance to the building. The first steps inside the Balnitso were full of anxiety and uncertainty. The corridors were empty and cold, and the air was filled with the smell of old age and desolation. Friends moved deeper inside, examining the rooms and wards where the sick had once been. Soon they began to notice strange phenomena. Shadows moved along the walls, doors opened and closed on their own, and rustling, ominous sounds came from afar. Friends began to experience a sense of an invisible presence, as if someone was watching them. One of the friends, named Max, decided to spend the night inside the bomb. He was sure that he could unravel the mysteries of this place and find answers to his questions. The rest of his friends tried to persuade him to abandon this idea, but Max was persistent and was not going to back down. Thus, Max was left alone inside the bomb. He spent the night exploring every corner of the building. Thoughts about past patients and the reasons for their mysterious disappearances swirled in his head. But the more time passed, the more he felt incomprehensible presences around him. Finally, at dawn, Max decided to return to his friends. But to his dismay, all the doors were locked. He was locked inside the bomb, surrounded by a gloomy and sinister environment. Panic seized him, and he realized that he had fallen into a trap. Max tried to knock down the doors, but they were too strong. He shouted for help, but his voice was lost in the empty space of the abandoned building. He realized that the curse of the Balnica had made him a prisoner, and the only way to get out was to solve the riddle of the curse. Max began to explore every room, every corner of the bomb. He found old documents and patient records that testified to the cruelty and indifference of the staff. He realized that the curse was the result of the revenge of dead souls who could not rest until the truth was revealed. Having collected all the evidence found, Max performed a ritual to free the souls of the dead. The walls of the ball mine shook with powerful energy, and the curse was broken. The doors opened, and Max climbed out of the trap. He returned to his friends and told them about his adventure. The ballroom was closed forever, and the story of its curse became a warning to anyone who dares to disturb the peace of the dead. Secrets of the Abandoned Ballroom. In a quiet town, among the moss-covered hills, stood an abandoned bomb. It was a place where people with mental disorders and neuroses used to be treated. But over time, the ballroom was closed due to financial difficulties and lack of necessary staff. Local residents have always treated this place with apprehension and anxiety. They heard stories of strange experiments being performed on patients and mysterious disappearances taking place within the walls of the building. Some even claimed that the Bomnia was cursed and haunted by the ghosts. One day, a group of researchers decided to investigate the mysteries of an abandoned bomb. They were sure that they would find answers to their questions and solve the mysteries of this place. Armed with flashlights and cameras, they went inside the abandoned building. The corridors of the ballroom were covered with dust and full of secrets. Each step of the explorers was accompanied by a creak of floors and a rustle from the side of the walls. They found abandoned wards where patients once stayed and found various records and documents related to past patients. As they advanced, the explorers began to sense incomprehensible presences and hear whispers in the darkness. They saw ghostly figures flickering in their peripheral vision and felt cold air currents like the breath of dead patients. But the researchers did not give up. They were resolute in their desire to uncover the secrets of the Balnica. They spent their nights inside the building observing strange phenomena and trying to unravel the mysteries of the past. They soon discovered a secret room filled with old papers and patient records. However, when the researchers tried to exit the abandoned Balmory, they found that all the doors were locked. They were trapped, surrounded by secrets and ghosts of the past. Panic seized them, and they realized that only solving the final riddle could set them free. The researchers got together and studied the found documents. They discovered that the Balmina was the site of illegal experiments on patients. Many of them were victims of the brutality and indifference of the staff. The researchers realized that the souls of deceased patients cannot rest until the truth is revealed. Gathering all their strength, the researchers performed a ritual to free the souls of the dead. The walls of the ballroom shook with powerful energy, and the ghosts disappeared, leaving behind only peace and quiet. The explorers, freed from the trap, left the abandoned Bal mine with a sense of accomplishment. They told the locals about their discoveries and about what happened inside the walls of this gloomy building. The ballroom was closed forever, and the story of its secrets and curse became a warning to all who dared to enter the dark and gloomy corners of the past. The Curse of the Abandoned Ballroom. In a quiet town among the green hills, there was an abandoned ballroom. It was a place where patients with mental disorders were once treated. But over time, the Balnitsa became known for its terrible methods of treatment and inhuman conditions for patients. The locals have always avoided this gloomy building, telling stories of missing patients and sinister ghosts that have appeared in its corridors. Legend has it that anyone who dares to enter the ball mine is subjected to a curse and becomes haunted by the souls of deceased patients. One day, a group of curious teenagers decided to test this legend and went to an abandoned ballroom. They got inside through the destroyed fence and began to explore the intricate corridors and lost chambers. But as they advanced, they began to hear whispers and see ghostly figures gliding past them. Each of the teenagers felt that he was haunted by the souls of deceased patients. They tried to get out of the Balnica, but each time they fell into a trap. The doors closed in front of them, and the corridors changed places. Fear seized them more and more, and ghosts became more and more aggressive. One by one, the teenagers disappeared, consumed by the curse of the ballroom. The rest realized that they needed to find a way to break this curse. Otherwise, they would face the same fate. They decided to get together and find an old diary of one of the former doctors of the Balnitsa, which, according to legend, contains the key to unraveling the curse. The teenagers set out to find the diary, fighting fear and the ghosts that tried to stop them. They managed to find the diary in a forgotten vault, and they returned to the balm. The diary described horrific experiments being performed on patients and a ritual that could be used to break the curse. The teenagers got together and performed a ritual in an attempt to free the souls of the deceased patients. The forces of evil resisted, but thanks to their determination and courage, the curse was broken. The ballroom, freed from the curse, was closed and sealed to prevent future use. The rest of the teenagers left the ballroom, but they were left with painful memories and fear that will stay with them forever. They realized that it is not worth playing with the dark side of history, and that even the most abandoned places can hide terrible secrets.